Hey, how's it going? My name's Alex, and in this video, I'm gonna tell you maybe 5 reasons why you should not buy a 2020 Ford or newer Super Duty. Alright, so this right here is a 2020 Ford F-350 dually, and you might be wondering, Alex, hold on, if you're telling us not to buy it, why do you have one? Well, this is actually an enterprise rental, so, but I want to go over some of the issues that I've had and I know that other people are having. And number 1 on the list is, guys, this CP4. It's absolutely ridiculous. The CP4 is so unreliable because the diesel is such bad quality in the United States. The CP4, it's too, like, to my understanding, all the things that I've been seeing and reading is the lines are too thin, or there's very little room for tolerances, and so that's why the CP4 fails. Now, this Ford did have the CP4 replaced. A bunch of people commented when I made that video. They said the repair is usually $8,000 to $10,000 roughly. So can you imagine? Sometimes it's covered under warranty, sometimes it's not, right? But can you imagine you go buy a 2020 truck, you're excited, you're like, oh man, this is awesome, the 10-speed is great, and it falls apart on you. So don't get a truck with a CP4, and I know all the 2020s have them, so that's reason number 1, do not buy Ford. Reason number 2, guys, the 10-speed, oh my goodness. It's okay, so let me give you a little bit of history, or not history, I guess, not my experience. So I had the first truck I got 2020 was a 2020 Ford F-350. I called it Crypto the Super Duty. I have like stickers on my laptop and whatnot about it, but it was a white 2020 Ford F-350 and it had the 10-speed. I got that truck to 75,000 miles. I did a 75,000 mile review, and that truck actually did okay, but right around 50-60,000 miles, the transmission started to, like, there was like a knock, you know, not a knock like a rod knock, but like when you shift into D and you start driving, instead of being nice, normal, clean shifts where it goes through the gears, it would like do like skip a gear, not skip a gear, but like, you know, I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like somebody was hitting your transmission with a hammer. That's kind of what it felt like. So, and then, but that's okay. It lasted because I don't have a CDL. I usually pull not very heavy weights. So it lasted. I turned it into Enterprise and I was done with it. Now, 80,000, the next truck was, I got to 80,000 miles. It was also a charcoal gray one. I didn't have a cool name for that one, but it was a charcoal gray Ford F-350 2020 as well. And that one I got to 80,000 miles, same thing. It was a little weird that the transmission right around 50-60 started to shift a little bit harder. Same exact thing, but it did not have the CP4 issue though, so that's the important part. And then I got this silver one, don't have a cool name for it either, and this is the one that, like I said, CP4 was replaced at 38,000 miles or something like that, 38 or 39. That transmission though, it's getting bad, and it's at 63,000 miles. Now it feels like somebody is punching you in the drivetrain. That's what it feels like. So when you're driving, not like when you shift into D or something like that, that might not be that, but when you're driving and you're like, you know, it's going through the gears 5th, 6th, there's like, I don't know if it might be 4th actually, but somewhere in there it just shifts so hard. It's like somebody punched you right in the drivetrain, right? That's what it feels like and underneath the floor. It's just a hard bang. And so I'm almost certain this transmission is on its way out. Almost certain. And sorry guys, the sun's coming up. It's really bright. So number 2, right? Transmission. This 10-speed is highly prone to failure. I got a bunch of messages from people, hey Alex, my transmission just failed, the 10-speed, it just failed. I know there's a couple other YouTubers right now too that made several videos, $7,000, $8,000 for a new transmission. So guys, avoid the 2020s because of that transmission. All right, number 3, guys, I know this one's not gonna go down so well with all of you, but I'm telling you, this engine brake is a disaster. It is I'm gonna say it, okay? It is borderline unsafe. I cannot stress enough that if you're gonna tow with the Ford, the engine brake in the Ford is actual trash. It's an unusable amount, like, there is no stopping resistance. Like, the best thing I can tell you is imagine like just downshifting your car. Maybe if you drive a manual or something like that, you can downshift. That's what this Ford does. Now imagine your car as actually pulling the weight 4 times itself. That downshifting doesn't work very well. And I'm telling you guys, if you're gonna do any actual amount day-to-day towing, this 2020 Ford, or all the Fords actually, because they all have the engine brake, they are so scary on the engine brake. It is a joke. They are super, super terrifying. You're going down a hill, it's revving to the red line at 3,000, 4,000, almost 4,000, because that's right where red line is. It's just revving all the way up. It is really unsafe. And it's just not slowing you down. It just doesn't have the power. It really doesn't. Especially if you have a Ram like the exhaust brake, so that's the difference. This is an engine brake and that's an exhaust brake. But the exhaust brakes on the Rams are just so much better. They really need to put an exhaust brake in here. I don't understand why they don't. It has a VGT to my understanding, just like the Rams, so it is kind of weird. But honestly, it is a disaster. Like, I don't even know how they have the high tow ratings that they say. Like, I'm on my brakes going downhill on the brakes. You're on the brakes. It's overheating my trailer, the pads and road. Like, I never had to do on a Ram pads and rotors. On Enterprise Rentals, I had to have, on one of the Fords, I forgot which one, maybe it was the 80,000 mile one, but I did have to do pads on the pads. Well, I don't know if they did pads and rotors, I'm not sure, but Enterprise paid for it. So, but they did have to do brakes because of it, because you're always riding the brakes. It's just, there's no way around it. If you're towing and you're going downhill, there's no way around it. The engine brake in the Fords is an actual joke if you're actually gonna be towing. All right, number 4, guys, I'm gonna say it. Guys, these headlights. I'm telling you, the 2020 specifically, and the reason being is because it's this dual pattern, both lights on. Guys, this is so, oh man, it's so frustrating to deal with that, the 2 lights. And I'm telling you right now, that is a deal breaker for me, okay? And not specifically because the lights suck. Yeah, the lights suck, whatever, you can replace it. But specifically because if you're using a product that advertises to other people that you're incompetent, stop using that product. And what Ford is doing is they're making their owners look incompetent. I'm telling you, I'm very serious right now. This is an absolute, I'm so pissed that they do this. It's aggravating as all heck. But here's why. When I hook up a trailer, the truck squats a little bit, the beams point up. Now I'm blinding all the people. Now I'm not gonna be screwing up the lights and aiming them down every time I get a load or don't get a load, right? Because if I turn them down, then when I'm unloaded, then they're gonna be pointing too low, right? So I can't be adjusting the lights all the time. And so I'm not gonna be doing that. And so what happens is I'm blinding all the people. And all the people keep flashing at me, flashing their high beams. And what do? I sit there and take it because I'm using an incompetently designed product. I don't care what the reasoning is, honestly. I don't care if Ford says, oh, it's better light output. I don't care. I really don't care. Ask yourself this, when you're driving down the roads in America and you see somebody with the high beams, do you think, oh, that's a smart person, or oh, he's just driving a Ford? No, you think, look at this moron with his high beams on. I know it, because I think it. Every time I see somebody with their high beams, it's the same thing as when somebody's driving in the rain with their hazards on. What are you doing? You're only advertising to the world that you're an incompetent driver. Why on earth would you have your hazards on? Not only that, you become a risk on the road. Same thing here. High beams, like everybody thinks I have high beams. Every time I pass a trucker, he flashes me after I pass them. Like going down the road, people, like even 3 lanes over, people coming across me, like on the other side of the freeway, they still flash me. Guys, this is an absolute deal breaker, and I don't understand why more people are not throwing a fit about this. I think Ford is truly, I think Ford truly doesn't care about their customer. All right, and the last and final thing, guys, is these seats. They are terrible. Now, look, this seat has only like, 64,259 miles, right? Or 256 miles. This seat, it's, first of all, when you, look how thin this is. Can you see that? Yeah, look how thin this is, right? This is not a good seat. I sit here all the time, and I'm telling you, all the other cars I have, the Megalong, the other Ram, the seats are much better. These seats are just not good. And obviously the seat is a minor thing, and so I'm just kind of throwing it in there to round up to 5 or make it to 5, 5th one. but yeah, I'm telling you, I drive this truck every day. You know, after my driver got done with it, I've been driving it since 38,000 miles, and so it's at 6.3, so I just put 20,000 miles on it. But every single Ford that I had before this, the 80,000 mile and the 75,000 mile one, both of those, the seats are just really bad. So if you're gonna get an entry-level truck or like a work truck, keep in mind the seats are really not that comfortable. The full foam is not that comfortable. I constantly get aches in my bottom, in my back because of those seats. I do not have the same problem in my Ram, right? And yeah, you could say, Alex, the Ram is a limited, whatever, leather, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I don't care. If I'm sitting in this truck every day holding the steering wheel for 10 hours a day, I need to be comfortable. Like, give me a better foam, give me something, you know what I mean? So, and right when I got the Ford, a bunch of people in the comments said, hey, those seats aren't comfortable, so get used to it. So honestly, guys, like I don't want to be a Debbie Downer about Ford, but I'm telling you, these 5 reasons are deal breakers for the 2020 Ford Super Duties. They really are. Stop buying Ford. Obviously, it's just my opinion, but if you're gonna drive this, this is gonna bother you. I'm telling you, it's gonna bother you. When that CP4 fails, when that transmission fails, or when you get flashed with high beams, or when you're going down the hill towing your RV and it doesn't slow you down, you're gonna watch this video and you're gonna be like, dang it, Alex is right. I am. So anyways, let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about this 63,000 mile Ford review, kinda, basically, and then I will see you in the next one. Bye.